This is Eddie Serralles with the Serralles Group. I'm here today with a good student of mine. Came in a few years ago. His name is Jackson Sullivan. I do these free classes on Tuesdays, and we have lots of students come in and take these classes, and it's either for them or not for them. I remember one day this young man comes in and sits in the class, and like most people, they really like it. And what I thought was kind of interesting is he decided to call his mom and tell her that he's jumping out of school and wants to do this full time. And his mom kind of called me and said, "Is this kid crazy? What's going on? What'd you do to my son?" And I'm like, "No, this is what I do, and it's real. If he really puts the time in and work, but it took me 6 months. I can't guarantee anything, but if he does it, he'll do well. I mean, real estate's real, and I really have a good system that works, and I believe that if he does work it, it will happen." And he came in every day, first one here, last one to leave. I mean, it's hours and hours and hours, time and time and time. And he was here for months without making really any money. And it paid his dues, and I'm probably sure he was worrying if it was ever going to happen or not. And before you know it, it started happening again and again. And he's done very well. And now today, I think I could ask him and say, "Hey, will you ever have a job?" Never. He's learned how to make money. And I call him the $1 million kid. So we're here today with a $1 million kid, Jackson Sullivan.
It's quite the intro. Thank you. I can even fill in some of the blanks there in that story where, Eddie, I came here 2 years ago, and 2 years basically almost to the day. Actually, a little over 2 years ago, and I came in and Eddie taught me from the beginning. I learned that coming into one of his Tuesday night classes, which it's just a simple little class where it's just like an introductory to the basic knowledge that Eddie preaches and teaches of investing in real estate and going after distressed real estate. So learning those two things is it's such an asset, and I don't really understand why more people don't try to do it. But hey, it's all right. We're doing well, so no complaints there. But yeah, Eddie is the greatest mentor I've ever encountered. Without Eddie, I wouldn't be who I am today. So everything I've accomplished in my life, I owe it to this man, and I've had great success off of Eddie, and as have many other people. And the reason I'm here today is because I feel that I owe it to Eddie to come in and talk and in any way I can give back, because it's not just me that's had great success. There's plenty of other people. I hope you'll get Clifton in here eventually, and Chris Mills, and there's so many other guys who have become, you could say millionaires off of what the knowledge that Eddie shares with so many. So for that reason, I'm here today, and I'm really excited to, be able to talk with Eddie and hopefully extract some of the information out of him that I think he can share with everybody, because it's sometimes Eddie talks in like ways that people don't really understand, but I understand what he's saying, and that's I'm really happy to be here today, and I'm very blessed to have met Eddie, and it's probably one of my biggest blessings in life. So yeah.
Well, thank you.
I guess we could start with, like, if you are a beginner and you don't know how to get started in real estate, what would be your advice to somebody who was like, all right, I want to do real estate, I want to make money? What would you say?
No, I mean, that's always why I started these classes, is like, where would you go? I mean, a lot of people think you have to go and get a real estate license, to get started. And I don't have one. I don't have a license. That's far from being the truth. That's what most people think they need to do. Or, go online and buy some courses and spend a lot of money and all that kind of stuff is the only way to do it. That's not true either. I believe there's just a lot of good information just on YouTube and Google. There ain't nothing that YouTube and Google doesn't already have that any course can really bring to the table. Right. Because I've been watching them like crazy. I never watch TV or watch that kind of stuff, but I've been getting addicted to it. I've been watching a lot because I'm seeing my competition and seeing things. And sometimes it makes me feel kind of small, watching all these big guys, all these people. And I'm wondering if that stuff is all true, if it's a lot of fluff and whatever else.
Right. Well, in order to sell your course, you got to seem as if you're the, whatever, that you got it all going on. And I want to add this too to everybody, that nobody will teach you what Eddie will teach you for free. Eddie teaches you for free. It's completely free. All you have to do is come in here and do the work. He gives you the opportunity to literally come in here in person, right? Rather than getting some course online and you know, your mentors all the way out in Arizona or wherever. You actually get to come in here in Tampa, Florida, study with Eddie, and for free. You don't have to pay anything. All you have to do is pay your time to learn and truly study the work, you know, what he teaches. So I think that's why you are, you know, such a great mentor in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of designed something that if I was 18 years old, what would I want to go to? What would I want to find? And, you know, I definitely don't recommend you, if you don't know anything, to go and put your credit out and put your money out and go buy something.
Yeah.
You know, don't be the first one to go jump off a bridge. You know, you don't know anything about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just makes no sense to me. So I think you should, you know, get in the game some way, somehow. And I don't think getting the licenses is really the way to get in the game. I think, you know, becoming a bird dogger.
Yeah.
I mean, learning research, learning how to set appointments, learning how to, you know, get out there and look at deals and find deals and be able to maybe earn while you learn and help people. I mean, really, this game is about helping people. You know, helping people helps you. I mean, what you've been doing is solving the people's problems, and they're happy to pay good money to do so.
Solving problems. That's everything about entrepreneurship. I mean, entrepreneurship is just solving problems. That's it. It's just solving somebody else's problems and then benefiting financially off of it. And I'll say that, you know, there are a lot of problems in real estate. I think I like to refer to it as like the 4 Ds, where you have death, divorce, distress, and debt, right? So those 4 Ds, there's so many more problems than you would ever even believe.
Yeah.
And it's all over the country, never mind Tampa. Like, you could take the knowledge that Eddie gives you in Tampa and go to Connecticut, where I'm from, and apply it and be successful. And the reason why he says you don't need a license, people think you need a license in real estate. You do not. I don't have a license. I don't have anything. I'm just Jackson Sullivan, the investor. Eddie Serralles, the investor. You always want to approach deals as an investor because that is how you can make the most money. You can buy houses and flip them. You can wholesale. And people think, oh, I need money to buy a house. No, you don't.
No.
Because, I mean, and also, even still, you're like, but I don't know how to do that. All right, that's fine. Come here and learn from Eddie. That's what I did. I was like, all right, I don't know how to do this. I see people on YouTube trying to learn how to wholesale, trying to learn how to fix and flip, trying to learn how to be an investor. But you don't know where to start. I mean, Eddie gives you a great place to start. And like I said, going after those problems in real estate, chasing the problems, is a great place to start, because then if you bring somebody into Eddie's office, set an appointment, bird dogger, like he says, bird dogger is just somebody who goes in and initiates contact with the people who have the problems, right? He just basically are saying, hey, look, I work for the Serralles Group. This company's been in business for 30 years solving people's real estate problems. And I noticed that you had this problem. Maybe they're at foreclosure. I noticed your property is in foreclosure. I'd like you to come into the office, meet with Eddie, and we can talk about how we can solve this problem, right? Now, a lot of people are going to turn you away and say, get the heck off my doorstep, right? Well, maybe one person will say, yes, okay, I'll come into the office, right? And then that's where you now have an opportunity to make money with Eddie. And that's what I did. And that's, me and Eddie did multiple deals together. And that's how I got my feet off the ground as a 19-year-old kid who made quite a bit of money. So, yeah. So, I mean, that's why I think people, when they come into Serralles Group, there's a lot of people who have come and gone. You know, what do you notice the people who have had the most success, what did they do differently? No,
they want it. You know what I mean? They're willing to put the time in and go after it and give it all they got. I don't think people realize, like, people don't take things so serious. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person that when I make my mind up, if I want to go do something, I want to be the best at it. And if I'm going to go do something, I'm going to give it all I got and give it and keep going until I get it. I don't quit. I don't stop. I don't know if because I'm not so bright or whatever else, but I don't stop. I'm like a bulldog. I just grab onto something and I keep going until I make it happen. Yep. And I believe in something. You know, things have to make sense to me. If it doesn't make sense, then it probably doesn't make dollars. And then I just go after it and I believe in it. And now that I've made so many dollars, then I know it makes sense.
Right.
And now I just teach it. If I can do it, and if I've done it, and you want to do it, I can help you do it. I've already done it. So I tell people, look, copy success. Just come in and be a good student. I mean, I try to be a great teacher, try to be the best teacher I can possibly be. And but I need good students. And I've had lots of students come, but you're one of the best ones. I mean, hands down. I mean, it's just, you are made differently than most people. I mean, you had a good foundation. Your mom and dad brought you up correctly. You already were strong. I mean, you already had so much ambition. You already had good work ethics. You already had your foundation was already there. You just need to find, you can make money anything you do. I mean, you just need to find something that you were really passionate about and do it. And you had you already had a very strong interest in this real estate game. You just need somebody to give you some pointers, and help you out. And I remember being there late at night with you, and you asking me all these questions, and hopefully the way I taught you, the way you see things, and understand that's, we talked about like Star Wars, the Force, the dark side and the Force, and doing good and the knowledge we have, we can do a lot of crazy things. I mean, no question about it. But should we? Right. And it's like, Eddie, look how easy this is. This is nuts how many problems there are, and these people, and they don't want the property, and it's just sitting there, and it's like, what can we do, and how do we make this happen? And it's like, we gotta do it the right way, and this is how you do it. You know what I mean? But there's so many opportunities. I remember looking at your eyes, like your eyes will open up. Look how much money is here. This is ridiculous. And now you're doing a deal like there's a $200,000 spread. And it's like, there's deals all over the place. There's money all over. And people don't even make that in 5 years. Right. And you're making it in a couple hours on one deal. That's nuts.
It's crazy. And I got to say, too, that, the first thing you said where it was, what's the difference between people who are successful and aren't, is the ones who don't quit. It's the ones who just keep going, right? I think that's like, first of all, taking the first step, but then not giving up after you fail, because you're not going to have success right away. So it's to think that you're just going to be successful off the jump. That's the problem. We live in an instant economy where everybody wants success instantly, but that's not how anyone has ever made it work.
Right.
No one has ever had overnight success. Nobody. It's garbage that the internet pushes this thought that like, oh, yeah, I made this is how I made $10,000. Well, first of all, $10,000 is gone like that nowadays. So it's like, so like, don't you want to learn a skill that is sustainable for a very long period of time? Because this game is not easy. Once you get it, it's now you understand.
It's easier,
but it's still difficult, and you still have to wake up every day and work your tail off in order to actually achieve success.
And you're only as good as your last deal. After that deal closes, you're back to square one again.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
You gotta get back out there and do it again and keep doing it. But you have successes, and you already know how to do it, and you know what needs to take place. You know it's a numbers game. To just keep doing the numbers.
No, I agree, and I think that the big key, is my recommendation to other students that come in here is you gotta, like you said, I was in here late at night asking questions. You have to ask a lot of questions, because you're not going to understand anything, never mind everything. And even still, I don't know everything. My next goal is to learn how to actually fix up properties and how to, learn renovations. And that's something I'm going to be coming right back to Eddie for, because I haven't done that yet. And I've just done wholesaling, but I want to start fixing up properties. And I think, in order to truly become successful, you have to find a mentor right here. And then you have to ask your mentor the right question, and you have to be a great student, right? So I think those things are just things that go right over people's head, and then they expect it to happen instantly. They expect you to hand them $10,000 on a silver platter. Like, no, you know how competitive it is out here. You know how hard you got to go to get that type of money. So my recommendation is to everybody that you got to get, your butt in here, and you got to expect. It took me 3 months, even as he calls me the $1 million kid. I don't have $1 million yet, guys. So you know, I'm only 21, but very soon.
But the rest of your life, you're going to be doing it. Trust me. You're going to be the $1 million kid for a reason, because you got it. Yeah. And you're on your way to make millions. Yep. It's inevitable. The cards are already written.
Right. And it's all because of the skills that you know it, I know it. It's going after that distress real estate.
It's not just the skills, also the mindset.
Right.
You got the mindset. You have the foundation. Now half the battle is seeing it. You've seen it. You've tasted it. You're doing it.
Yep.
You've got it.
Yep.
Nobody can take that away from you. You can go. You can move to a different city. You still got it.
Right.
No, nobody can take it away from you.
It's so true, and it's the mindset of like he said, like I must be crazy because I just don't give up, and it's like, yeah, like that's how you have to approach everything in life. Like if you expect to see results in the gym after 2 weeks, come on, if you're 300 pounds, you ain't gonna be looking like all 6-pack abs after 2 weeks, right? So it's like you're starting from ground zero. You're starting from absolutely no knowledge, and then you're trying to come in here and basically make money and and do whatever. So there's so many other people out here trying to do this. So to think that you're just going to be successful right away it's not realistic. But if you do sweat it out and take the time, then it's forever.
But my program's for anybody and everybody.
Right.
I mean, I've had guys with no teeth, this, that. All they gotta do is set up appointments. All they gotta do is want and get out there. And some people don't even do the research. Some people just, I just bring you people. You want me to bring you people? I'll bring you people. These people have problems. I can bring them in for you. No problem. I know lots of people who are losing their houses. I know a lot of crack houses. I know a lot of abandoned properties. I know this.
I think people in those areas, in the rougher areas, actually have a better, can even go at, if they learn the knowledge, if they're in the bad neighborhoods, they have even more opportunities because now you know how to turn it into deals, how to take that rundown property, that abandoned property, that lady who died, that whatever. There's more problems in the worst neighborhoods that obviously people can't pay to make their payments, taxes, whatever it may be. You get in there and you network. It's like you're the guy who already lives in the neighborhood. Everybody knows you already. So you can go and network and go talk to people.
Yeah, like I said, this is like fishing. Basically, there's got to be some type of problem. One person's problem is another person's gain. But then once you find a person has a problem and you're in there to try to solve the problem, okay, now how do we solve it? Is it worth solving? Is that property worth buying? At what price? You know what I mean?
Right.
What property would you not buy for $1?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could probably sell it for $2. You know what I mean? So It's all about buying low, selling high.
That's it.
That's it. Buying low, selling high.
And when they have problems, you have more opportunities to buy low. It's simple. It's really not that complicated. It's the more people with problems you find, the more opportunities you have to buy low. And then in markets like, it's really because of the internet. The internet's changed the real estate market because of the instant on market, the instant buyers. So many people want real estate now that this game is not ever going away because it's like you could go to Oklahoma City and there's investors in Oklahoma City who want rental properties, who want to fix and flip, real estate is a industry. It's a business. So to think that if you find the right buy low, if you just keep going and finding people with problems and keep making low offers, it's not even about low offers. It's a win-win because you're actually solving their problem.
If it's not a win-win, we don't play.
Right.
It's always got to be a win-win. And I've taught you that.
Right.
It's always got to be a win-win. And all of our customers we ever closed were so happy.
Right, exactly.
They're so thankful.
Because they think they're getting nothing in a lot of situations. And foreclosures, abandoned, beat-up houses, they think they're going to lose their house if they're living there and the house is under foreclosure, family, whatever the situation is that is going on. They don't think they're going to get anything. They think that this is a headache. It's distress. It's literally, they're stressed about it. Mm-hmm. And we come in and we say, hey, we're going to make it as easy as possible for you. We're going to pay you. We're going to give you your money. And then we're going to take over the house and you don't have to worry about anything. And that's what you're trying to offer them. And that's.
Can you agree that a lot of people would love to get rid of their job?
Yes.
And just really be financially free?
Right.
And what gives you the best chances, best odds is a real estate game. But so many people have been so trapped in having their car payment, their house payment, and their rent payment, and commitment to their girlfriend or the TV or whatever, wasting time.
Yeah.
And in reality, sometimes this doesn't take a lot of time.
No.
It just takes the right effort.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you were good at, better than most students, and I think you probably still are today, is really learning how to do that research. Yeah. You took that whole research, and I gave you kindergarten, second grade level research. and you've taken that thing to a whole different level. Doing that research, and that was your game. I mean, it's your time period. That computer's your time. It's not my time. And so learning how to use that computer and really knowing how to fine tune and really pinpoint and really know how to see what's really going on before you even go knock on that door is huge.
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, that's that's why you have to come in here and learn, because you can't learn that on your own, and nobody on the internet will teach you that. Nobody. And even the people selling courses on the internet won't be able to teach you the things that I know and that Eddie knows about researching public records.
Yeah, and that's just researching. So let's just talk about now, you actually got a deal. I mean, if there was a deal on the table and there was 3,000 realtors in a room or 3,000 investors in a room, who could really put the best deal on the table? I mean, I feel like I can. Because that's an art, and it's all about, I can't draw or I can't do a lot of things, but when it comes to deal structure and deal making and how to put a deal on the table, I'll put myself up against anybody. And that's one of the things that we bring to the table, because we have more tools and more experience than most people knowing what can be possibly done. And I think we're out of the box when it comes to deal structure.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's funny because we've gone and we've talked to realtors before, and they're like bewildered at the stuff that we do. They're like, "What? You can do that?" It's like, yeah, of course. It's like, don't approach it as like trying to get a listing. Like, think of it first as like, no, I want to buy this house and flip it, because you got to think about it this too. It's like, okay, you get 6% of the final cut, or you could get the difference in the terms of what you buy low and sell high.
I had a scholarship to go play ball at St. Pete JC. And I remember getting my real estate license at 18 years old. And I decided to quit and basically get in the real estate business and get my license and I had a courier business, and I did baseball camps and mow yards.
What's a courier business?
Delivering packages, a courier business. And just kind of learning real estate, and went and worked in an appraiser's office and kind of tried to do real estate. Wasn't that good at it at the time. Just trying to find myself as a kid, and then I got lucky. I got 19 years old, got my broker's license, and because I really liked real estate. I really loved it. I could read it, I could understand it. I just had a strong interest, and I kind of told my dad at a very young age, if I had $10,000, I'd be a millionaire. He's like, well, good luck with that. And I don't know, I just liked real estate, and I just saw a bunch of real estate people making lots of money, and I just thought, man, I like to do it. I better try to be one of the best at it, and do it, be as good as I can, and I did. And I was making some good money because I had a referral system with Century One and Bank of America, which was Barnett Bank back then. And I was making some money, $5,000-6,000 a month, and I decided to quit and go back to school and put myself through college working at Home Depot. And I loved Home Depot. I thought I was going to be there forever. I just really liked it and loved it. And then I overgrew it, and I remember getting my contractor's license at 25, and they had an install sales management job, and I came in there with a tie, and the guy says, you got to take the tie off, and I'm like, Home Depot worker with a tie. I'm like, I'm a contractor. I'm like, you want me to do these things? And then I thought that was kind of messed up because, Home Depot was trying to compete with the customers, and I said, look, if you want to start something, start install sales. Start a rental center, and they thought it was crazy. Now they have a rental center. So I've always been a kind of a visionary. And I met a nice girl, and we got married, and she was an accountant. She was basically a CPA, and I was a real estate mortgage construction guy. And
right, so tell everybody, you were, and you still to this day are, you were a real estate broker,
yep,
a Class A contractor,
yep,
and a mortgage broker.
Yep, by the age of 25.
And for those of you who don't know, that covers every basis in real estate. Right? Like, hey, you want to buy a house? Okay.
And my dad owned a title company.
Right, yeah. And his family owned Hillsborough Title. So for those of you who don't know about real estate, he could fix your house up, he could list your house for sale, and he could give you a mortgage to buy a house.
I wanted to be a one-stop shop.
And
that was my whole vision. And so as a young kid, I always wanted to have a one-stop shop, which I still have today.
Yep.
We call it the one-stop shop real estate mortgage construction. And I don't know, I just wanted to be this guy that people would come to and I could just help. I just knew that a lot of people wanted to sell their house, borrow money, and I just thought I can just have contacts and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not the most personal guy. I'm not the most outgoing person, or I don't like asking for a lot of business. And And I remember quitting Home Depot and I went to Temple Terrace Realty and great office. And I started learning the business. I remember my first 6 months I didn't make a penny, and then eventually it started happening. But I remember one time we had this like booth, and I remember asking this one girl, I said, hey, do you rent or do you own? She goes, I rent. I said, well, let me help you buy a house. She was like, okay. And once I did that, then she started talking to her friends and other people, and before you know it, I was making sales like crazy. I mean, she was a good connector. I mean, and she's like, man, this guy can show you how to, you can own versus renting for the same price or cheaper.
Right.
And you can build up equity besides throwing that money away. And I was like, yeah, that's true. I didn't really understand all that at the time. And then I was like, and then I wanted to be an investor. I didn't want to make sales. I wanted to own properties. So I came down to Tampa Heights and Sullivan Heights, where I knew it was kind of cheaper to buy. And I bought a 4-unit where I lived for free for 18 months and bought it for $78,000, sold for $136,000, and just started buying properties. And I bought my office when I was 27 years old and lived for free. And
So tell us a story about how you bought your office. Just how you structured the deal.
Well, it was basically something that I teach in the classes, how to be a bird dog. Go out and find something that you like or something you want, and just drive by and ask if they want to sell it. So I remember driving by my office when I was 18 years old and saying, hey, look, there's my castle. And then I drove to the neighborhood and said, oh, hell no, we'd never buy in this neighborhood. It was just terrible. I let it in my mind, and then I was 27 years old. I made a sale with a 4-unit down the street from my clients who really liked me and trust me, and I made her pretty wealthy buying these properties. And she got lucky getting a good agent who knew investments, and I got her great deals, and she did very well with that. And then I drove by and saw this building, and I saw me outside the office of the building and tailgate down and smoking a cigar and saying, I went up to him and said, hey, do you know what this building was? Yeah, I own this building. I said, well, would be interested in selling it. Is there anything for sale? I'm like, yeah. What kind of price you want? He was about $150. I said, leave. 3 commercial units, 9 apartments, $150. I said, how about $135 cash? He was like, sounds good. We shook hands. Shit, I'm gonna get $135. I had no money, So I had to figure out how to creatively, which helped me out a lot because I was always creative. I was a guy who always thought of the box. I knew a lot of tricks already. I knew a lot of systems. So I went to him and said, look, Mr. Ferguson, you won't believe this, but I'm a little short. I said, hell, if I give you $55,000 cash and then you go back a second mortgage for the difference. And he did. And then basically I got a first mortgage for the difference, and I was able to buy the property for no money down. I've never made a payment. And now it's not worth $135 no more. Now it's worth like $6 million.
Wait. How did you get the 55?
Well, I actually bought another 4-unit the same day too. So I was actually buying 16 units. Okay. And so I was able to get a 50% loan to value on 16 units. I borrowed $80,000 from Central Bank of Tampa.
Right. And then
he had the other 80. So I bought the 160. So I bought both properties. I bought a quad that had 2 5-bedrooms and 2 4-bedrooms. Mm-hmm. And then my building, all that for no money down.
Right.
And I never really made a payment.
So for people are like, oh, that's impossible. So this is in 1996?
6, 7, yeah, something like that.
Okay. So you were basically, what you were doing is you were going and getting a contract for the property, essentially. And then you would go to the bank and say, hey, look, I need a loan to buy this property. And the bank would then lend you money based on that contract.
They didn't want to loan me money. I had 50 banks saying no. Nobody wanted to loan me money.
Right.
No, they were haters.
Yeah.
They were pure ass haters.
Well, you found one bank that did.
Well, I didn't really find them. Basically, I found a guy who knew a guy who came over and had connections, and basically, liked my property and liked me, and basically told the banker, hey, loan my kid the money because if he fails, I'll take it. Yeah. Most likely. Yeah. But basically, they gave me a chance. Yeah. That's all I needed. I just needed a chance. I'm sorry, I'm a little badass. Yeah. Especially back then. Well, today, maybe not so much, but back then.
You were 27.
Forget about it.
You were a beast.
No, forget about it. I was young. I was hungry.
Yeah.
I was determined. I was not going to be a broke ass kid.
Yeah.
And I knew jobs didn't cut it. So I was going to be successful one way or another. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just needed an opportunity, and that opened up the opportunity that right away it happened. And then from then on, I started teaching my friends and other people and started making a business out of this on how to buy properties with no money down and all that kind of stuff. And I would give classes, stop having jobs, buy properties.
So starting in 1997, this building that we're in right now, you buy it through creative financing, right? And then the run that you go on after that, basically up until what? Do you call it 2007?
Well, I'm gonna go in stages, probably like 4 years. So from 1997 to 2001, when the Bucks won the Super Bowl, that was the easy, small growth.
Yeah.
It was doing good. And it was steady. It was healthy. It was considered normal.
And what you were doing was you were going and finding people with problems, buying their houses, fixing them up, or
no, I didn't have to find them. They find me.
Yeah, right.
Back then, because back then nobody wanted real estate, and they were like, "Who's that crazy kid?"
What were you doing, like bandit side and stuff back then?
Oh yeah. We do everything. I mean, I had the majority of listings. I would carry over 100 listings at all times.
Yep.
Because I don't want to buy it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy your duplex for 40. If it's $9,000, we'll talk. 40, no. You know what I mean? I'll list it.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the senses of realize what it's really worth.
Yeah, right.
Then I'll buy it.
Right.
Now today people are paying like $240.
More.
Yeah, it's nuts. And so, and that's why I can't deal with this.
For those of you who don't know, Eddie was buying properties that today are worth $300,000. Eddie was buying them for $10,000. And you're like, oh, what? 1999? No, in 2012.
In 2009, we bought 9 quads for $34,000. But back in the old days, I bought 15 quads for $10,000 a piece.
Right.
I mean,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I ended up asking for $6,000.
And you think about it though, it does make sense why it cost that much because the rent was that much, right? The rent it made sense.
Shit, you would let people pay rent, right? I mean, $300.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a whole other world. Well, in this neighborhood, everything was abandoned.
Right. Yeah.
Every house was abandoned.
Bad crime.
You'd be lucky there was homeless people living in every damn house.
Right.
I went to go show my dad a house I bought for $20,000. There's a naked man with a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it was.
Yeah.
So he was nuts.
Yeah.
And, I tell you what, I enjoyed the journey.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, this guy's crazy. But I knew I was not crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I just knew I wasn't. I knew that I was on the right path of doing something great. And I did. You know what I mean? And now I have a lot more than most people have. And now everybody's like knocking me about my classes. Oh, this is not, why you do it for free? You should charge. Don't pay attention. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't charge. It's like, it's not all that. You know what I mean? To me, it's not all that. I mean, just work. I'm here to guide you. Right. I can't, I can't go and kick you in the ass to make this shit work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, if you want it, it's there.
Yeah.
And it's real. Look, it's real.
It's real.
It works. If you work it.
Right.
But then I want to work it.
Right. And I think that's a major difference between people who are successful. We already said this. People who are successful and people who are dollars. People who are willing to outlast the failure and then suffer and make sacrifices too. Because the other thing too is, I think you could attest to this, is that, like I said, I was in there early mornings, late nights. It wasn't one day. It was every day. Right? It's consistency. Right. It's discipline.
And you believed.
Right.
You believed in real estate. You believed in me. And you believed in your damn self.
Right. But even sometimes, though, you're not going to have that belief. You're going to have doubt. And you have to...
I'm sure you did.
You have to pursue...
I'm sure sometimes you're like, man, did I make a mistake? Do I need to call my mom and tell her I made a mistake? You know what I mean?
I got to be honest, though. I got to be honest.
But I don't think you did because you were totally in love.
I knew it.
You were in love.
I knew it.
And you were in love since day one.
Yep.
From day one, you were madly in love with the whole thing. You loved the research. Yep. You loved the whole chance. It was a chance. It was like the whole game.
Right.
I mean, you realized it was a game.
Yep.
And you loved every part of the damn game.
It's a game. And I even enjoy walking up to somebody's door and then telling me, I've had people run at me with a knife. Like, it doesn't faze me. It's funny. Like, it's like fun. And it's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's like a hunt.
It's a hunt. It's a chase. You gotta be willing to go for the hunt, go for the chase. It's a game, and And the game, you have the good and the bad, the ugly, you have whatever. It's just go after and go at it, and you believe.
Yeah.
And if you believe in something, you'll get the results. And when you get the results and you taste those results, forget about it. It's all over.
You have to believe in yourself too, right? You have to believe in like,
You know, a lot of people say, Eddie, I believe in real estate. And I go say, Eddie, I believe in your system. I believe in you. I believe in that what you're saying is true. But it's free. I have no problem coming for free. I mean, but the problem is that unfortunately, in my opinion, I believe in them more than they believe in themselves. You mean, you know, I believe that I really can. I already know I can. I know I can help them, but they don't. They're their own worst enemy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And so one thing I want to talk about a little bit today is, you know, it's a numbers game, and you're a 1 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
Because who actually becomes the $1 million kid or becomes successful is 1 out of 1,000,
yeah,
and you're that one.
yeah,
And I got him here on my show.
yeah.
What makes you different? Or not what makes you different? Why aren't more people being that 1 out of 1,000? Why is it 1 out of 1,000? Why can't it be a 1 out of 2? Why can't it be, you know, why is it, what's wrong? What's going on? And then it reflects on me. You know what I mean? And I'm a human being. I have feelings. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I want these people, I want them all to win. I want them all to become millionaires. I want them all to be successful.
Yeah.
Why can't everybody be a Jackson?
All right, well,
Why can't everybody be a Jackson?
because they don't want to make the sacrifices that Jackson makes. That's the key.
And how hard of a sacrifice was it?
Well, this is going to be number one, and let's see if people can really get aligned with this.
All right.
I don't have any social media. I don't have even social media accounts. You know that. It's day one I've been here.
I know.
I don't have Instagram. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have Facebook. I don't have Twitter. I don't have...
And you don't do nothing stupid. You don't
TikTok.
drink. You don't do this. You don't
I
do
don't
that.
drink.
You work out all the time. You're very determined. You're driven. You have a great foundation.
Every morning before I'd come here, I was up at 5 o'clock. I'd go to the gym. I'd work out. And then, oh, by the way, at that point, I was living 40 minutes from here. I drove here every day, 40 minutes home. And after work, I'd go and knock on doors. So you're asking, and people are like, you know, why am I not successful? Because you're not doing enough. Because you're not trying. You haven't even tapped into what's possible. People are like, oh, I need 8 hours sleep. No, you don't. No, you don't. Like, okay, I function better with 8. Well, guess what? The guy who sleeps for 5 and wakes up and still gets his done anyways, he's better than you because he doesn't need 8 hours to be successful. He's just gonna do the work anyways. And it's like, I think that's the biggest takeaway and biggest thing that, like, I think what people aren't doing is they're not willing to make sacrifices. They're not willing to wake up really early. They're not willing to delete their social media. They're not willing to...
Let me just say this to you. Like, people come to my Tuesday class, they all love it. If 100 people count, all 100 like it. They come to Wednesday class, that's when they start dropping off. Damn, I got to turn on the computer, I got a lot of research, I got a lot of files. Some of them love it. It's like, wow, this is pretty cool. I didn't know this exists. It's fun. It's somewhat fun. Then they love Thursday's class. Oh, I can role play, this, that, and they learn how to set up appointments, and it's pretty cool. But then when it gets down to going doing it over and over again and getting rejection and realizing that this can change their life, it's like, how can something so simple, just setting an appointment, change my life? Let me ask you a question. Did you just not go out and set a couple appointments and then I took over?
That's it.
And did you not make a shitload of money?
That's it. Yep.
And so it's real.
2 appointments led to $36,000, and I was in the first. We got the deals in the first month or two, and then we didn't close them probably for another month or so. And then Havana took a while to close because we did a short sale.
Right.
And I think, to expect it to happen overnight is absolutely ridiculous. That's not going to happen. And like you said, you didn't make money for 6 months. I didn't make money for 3 months, even with the internet, even with all the stuff we have at our fingertips nowadays.
Yeah. Here, that was 12 hours, 14 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week.
Exactly. But
we're living there.
But here's the thing now is that nobody can take away the knowledge that I have. It's forever. It's forever knowledge.
Exactly.
It's a skill that is irreplaceable. And it's just the understanding of, let me find people who have problems that I can try to solve, and we can try to make money some way. And Eddie will explain to you, you know, once you're in here, how to actually what is needed, right? Because every situation, every deal is different, and every problem has a different solution.
That's right.
So it's like, no matter what, Eddie's done every possible deal. And I actually want to go back for you to keep telling your story, because I think it's so cool what you did. I'm astounded by it. I wish I was around back then, because I know we would have killed it because Eddie killed it, man. So think about this. I want to know about the run up until the market crash, and then I want you to talk about what you did after the market crash. Because before the market, you are like the real estate guys. Like, if you guys have seen The Big Short,
we were killing it. Yeah, we were killing it. We were killing it from the very first month I opened up. All three of us, mortgage broker, appraiser, myself. Very first month, we killed it. Yeah. I mean, very first month. And then we just kept going, and everybody in my office was owning 10 houses, 15 houses. We all killed it. Yeah. And it was like taking candy from a baby. There was so much real estate. There was so much stuff going on. So from 97 to 2001, it was a steady, simple growth. But when the Bucks won the Super Bowl in 2001, 2002, whatever it was, forget about it. Real estate went on fire for 3 years. It was just climbing like dramatically. Huge profits in 2005. And then I thought we were just going to keep on going. We were just becoming California. And then about October of 06 is when I felt it. They shut off banking. And by 2007, 2008, it was just dead. I was back doing handyman work. You know what I mean? I still had my assets, but I think we ended up losing about, on paper, $10 million. You know,
in value.
Equity and value and all that kind of stuff. And I had to sell a few properties. I lost a few properties. Plus, I got divorced, which didn't help. Yeah. You know, but then by 2009, I started like, okay, Eddie, let's get back up on the horse and let's ride this thing again. Right. And we already started doing the short sales about 2008, 2009.
All right. So now tell a story about short sales.
Well, short sales is just like everything was upside down. Everybody owed,
which means, right? People owed 300, and their property was
$300,000 worth. Maybe 80. If that. Yeah. And I would beat the bank down to 20. Right. And then create equity.
Because the banks needed money.
Oh, they needed money. Yeah, they needed money.
Because properties on the auction doorstep, on the county doorstep, they weren't selling. They were people would only pay $5,000 or $10,000. So the bank would get stiffed on a $300,000 note, right? So you would come in and say, "Hey, listen, we'll give you 20." Yeah. And they're like, "Thank you."
Yeah, you watch that movie Big Short. That's basically what I lived through. Right. I mean, it was crazy. Yeah. And yeah, we had strippers that had 5 houses in a condo. I mean, that was our clients. Yeah. I wasn't guilty of that. We had it. I mean, we did it. We lived it. I mean, I had party houses. I mean, come on, I lived. Yeah. You know what I mean, I lived. I was a kid that had a shitload of money. I was a kid. I was a kid.
It's not.
I had a shitload of money. I worked hard and I played hard.
Well, you didn't do anything wrong. You played the game, and the game, which it was, is that banks were lending to anybody, and you, like you said, you had an appraiser in the office, right? So the way real estate works, something is only worth as much as, right, how much somebody's willing to pay for it. Right. And if people are getting contracts for $300,000 on a house, then the bank goes, okay, this property is worth $300,000. And then if the house next door gets appraised for $280,000, then the house 3 doors down, that must be worth $260,000, right? Because if these two houses are worth $280,000 and $300,000, that's how the market inflated. And then essentially, Eddie was the bank. Eddie was going to the banks, and basically what you were doing is you were buying houses for $100,000. You were saying, all right, let's make this contract for $100,000, right? But really, from the owner, you were buying it for $40,000. So then you would go, hey, bank, I'm buying this house for $100,000. Can you give me a loan? And they'd give you a loan for $80,000.
We would have a disclosure that basically says, hey, we like selling properties for the appraised value, not what the owner wants. Because in reality, the property could appraise for $150,000, but the owner only wanted $70,000. Right. So why would you join a contract with $70,000? Right. Right for $150,000 and take the money out. So you use that equity to your advantage. So this made sense.
Talk about, so you would do is like, okay, so you buy the house from the owner for $70,000, but now you have $150,000 on this other contract that it's appraised value. So you could go get a loan for, let's say, what, 80% or 150, you know, whatever. Just say it's 120.
Right.
Now, if you're closing for 70, you walk away with $50,000 the day that you close. Many times, which is mind blowing. You can't.
And then it's still cash flow.
That's tough to do.
It's still cash flow.
Tough to pull that one off nowadays, but you can. You would be surprised.
You can still do it. There's deals all the
You
time.
have to find the deal.
And the bottom line is, there's hard money lenders.
Yep.
There's partners. There's a lot of different ways and strategies to do it. That's why I say that I'm like a magician now with real estate.
Yep.
Nothing I can't magically make happen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? There's one way to, and I stay by the rules and play by the game or everything else. But it's when you know this game the way I know this game, it ain't nothing I can't do.
Right.
Put a table.
I mean, look at what you did with your own building. You know, you did it over financing. That's something that nobody thinks about. It's like, rather than going to a bank, maybe you can't get approved for a mortgage, or maybe the banks interest rates are at 7% where they are today. And you're like, I don't want a 7% interest rate. Try owner financing. Try going to find landlords who own hundreds of properties and be like, hey man, I see you renting. You're trying to rent your property out, and I see you're having some trouble renting it. You know, I'd really be interested in actually purchasing this property from you on an owner finance note, you know, make you the bank. And a guy who's a savvy investor, he's going to understand that. He's going to go,
yeah. Okay. Plus it saves you on taxation.
Exactly.
Right now and all that stuff. There's a lot of benefits.
A lot of benefits to owner financing, and people don't even think of that concept. It's foreign to even hear it.
My dad had a lot. He owner financed it 7 times.
Wow.
People put down 10, 15,000, make big payments. They don't pay, and he gets it back, resells it again.
Right.
7 times.
All you have to do is just
all the deposits he got, he paid for his lot. I mean, he made a fortune with that damn lot.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy.
So I've watched it. I've seen it. I've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
You can't, you know, it's just when I bring to the table is ridiculous. It's nuts when I bring to the table, and it's free, and they have access to me. And who else is going to go and help you? You know, we walk the properties, I help you write the contracts, I loan you the money, do everything. I mean, we hold your hand the whole way through.
Yeah.
Who else is going to do that?
Yeah.
What course are you going to go by and does that?
Right. No, nobody else is actually going to be with you there when you do your first deals, right? Because they're going to just try to, you know, advise you through a phone, and that's just not the same, man. To get that up close in person experience is real. I mean, obviously,
how many deep talks do we have? Deep talks. I mean, and that's what builds character. Yeah. I mean, and it's not just building knowledge; it's also building character.
I mean, you know, you're not just real estate smart. You're life smart. You're business smart. You understand so much more than just real estate. I mean, like, you understand business in a way where it's like, you know, you've gone through the ups and the downs, and you've also gone through the backstabbing, and you've gone through you understand that people
are back.
Yeah, right, right. And there's just like, I feel like you just know people so well too, and like that's something that's just like, you know, there's so much to learn. But like I said, you have to ask the right questions. It's like, if you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to be able to truly get to what you're desiring. And you also got to make the sacrifices that are required in order to be successful. I mean, you can't expect it to happen overnight.
Well, Jackson, this is fun, and let me tell you something. How do I find more of you? I need more Jacksons out there.
If they're like me, they'll find you.
I like that.
I think that's true. Because think about it. Clifton found you.
Yep.
Chris found you.
Yep.
I found you.
Yep.
You know, they're gonna find you.
Yep. But, you know, I feel like I can build and make anybody, and I think it's for anybody and everybody.
But the thing is, you can't make somebody else.
I can't. You could go getting it.
What's the saying? You bring the horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Drink it, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's what it is, and I think that I'm so blessed to have encountered you. It's 2 years now.
It's been my blessing to coach you. I mean, this is what I strive for, and it means. You think it means a lot to you? It means a lot to me too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, you know, now you've proven that I'm not crazy. That's the way I look at it. You know, it does work. You know, it's like it's real, and it doesn't cost you anything, and you know, it's there for people, and it's like, take advantage of it. And you know what? To think about, you'll never have a job. You'll never have to strive for a job. Never have a job. What 19-year-old can say that?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm 21 now. I was 19.
I'm right. You're not 21. But think about it. You know, who can say that?
Yeah.
And how many people are so like, man, I wish I could do this. I wish I would have done this. You know, and now you own property now, and this is that. You got another deal closing. You got the $200 spread on the table right now.
Yep.
I mean, your life looks great.
Yeah. And I mean, let's say this, that, you know, yeah, you might be crazy, but Einstein was crazy, right? Like, you know, Donald Trump, what people would call him crazy, right? But it's like, the people who, you're extraordinary, you're not ordinary,
Right.
you know? So I think that because of that, normal people are going to think that you're crazy, but after you see it, feel it, touch it, like you say, after you really like start chasing deals and you really like, you're hunting the deals, that's when you really realize that this is very real. Real estate is real.
Real estate's real, and for damn sure, I'm real. I've been in the same spot for 30 damn years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all I do is help people.
Yeah.
And I don't charge, and I try to help people. And you know what? It's there for the taking. And all you did was just take it. You know what I mean? I offered something, you took it, you ran with it, and now you got the blessing. You know what I mean? And it's a huge blessing to me, to real estate, because you're doing great things, and we appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you, and I'll say this one more time. Nowhere else will you be able to learn what you can learn at the Serralles Group for free. Nobody teaches this stuff for free. But Eddie,